All right, I've tried to make every single one of these videos slightly different. It's the same content we're looking at. I mean, this is my bowl of souls. I've got to have it close. This is funny. People think it's funny. I got to have the women close to the men. It's a gender-based society they lived in, and the men were out going hunting, inherently doing a couple tasks here or there, probably more than a couple, way more than a couple, that were extremely dangerous. The men were most of the time viewed as more expendable. They did things more dangerous inherently. Much more dangerous. Still do. And they weren't the ones responsible for bringing life into the world, for fashioning, fitting, and developing a human being and birthing it into the world. That was a high honor. And so that's why I always have my pottery close by. Best pieces I've ever found. Solid stuff. Now, I wrestle, and I keep wrestling with the different displays that I'll do for posterity, and now that I see I've probably gone to 10, now I'm doing a Touch 10 series, and I haven't seen some of these in a long time. I say a long time, that might be 8 years. That might be 9. But all of those there, almost 34, fit easily in here and don't even fill this up to the top. Thank God for a 7-layered tackle box. Place easy to put, easy to bring. Oh, I almost spilled the ball right in front of us all. Let's see this. Tried to set this up. Easy to do. Just follow the dial on a clock and lay them right out. You could do a frame with it. All right. Let me just go through these and let these do most of the talking. Fantastic display. From Canada to Brazil. For freedom. Fantastic display for self-reliance. I don't know where to start when I'm going around, so I'm just going to go slow motion and take two. There's 2 sets of dials here. These small points. Now, I was making mention of the protest that Canada's truckers are participating in or facilitating with Canadian citizens by the thousands and thousands and thousands. I always post links. If you happen to look or watch any of the links that I post, you're going to be a really informed person as to what is truly happening in the world. Of course, as I say to everybody, and I say it rarely on here anymore, it's true anyway, if you happen to get your news from any one of the browser options, Yahoo, Explorer, you get nothing that is true. It's propaganda. That includes all 12 of the most common networks that you might have grown up with. And it's difficult. It's almost a snapshot of the movie Matrix. So don't live in the Matrix. Which is not to say don't believe everything. It's to say be well informed, put everything in a balance, get the truth of what's happening, and then make your own decision about your health, about your body, about where you're going to go, what you're going to do. If you happen to do rude, unlawful, despicable things, then be ready to face the penalty set by the judiciary and set by law. And if there is an immoral law that's clearly immoral, as Martin Luther King Jr. said, it is not the right thing ever to submit to an immoral law. Gandhi believed the same thing. Nonviolent resistance. And he broke the back of the British government and liberated India. Now, I'm going to leave all that behind. Give you my soapbox. It's no different from the simple one statement of live free or die. So pitiful. actually denying people places on organ transplant lists because they don't have a vaccination that is not a vaccination and is a simple proven gene therapy. I can't go down the road of talking about it anymore. These are too good of a part of the collection. This little one is made out of the same material that some of my much bigger points. And if you're just looking at these, none of these are longer than an inch. There's only actually there are two here that are. All the rest are smaller than an inch. As you can see, I put one finger over it and they disappear. But all of these are what I would interpret as my G10 little masterpieces. And I didn't resist showing them because they were so small. It's just where do you begin and where do you end when you get to 10 years in collecting and you've amassed a pretty decent amount. Now I see some of you guys, your whole house is full of cases and frames and you have found so much great stuff. Did you get to highlight it? You should. You should share it at this point. And the natural light seems really good now to give you a good look. Now I'm telling you, all 34 pieces fit comfortably in one little cubby hole, if you will. But to me, they're priceless. To me, a display like this probably could go in any museum, the Smithsonian or whatever, representing eastern central North Carolina, right? And what we're seeing is the split. We're seeing a huge spectrum. Of dispensational age. Not hundreds of years, everybody. We're seeing thousands of years and different people groups. Different genetic stock, different language stock. It's staggering. When I thought about the 10 that I've done already and doing the series on a 10-year touch and just what I've been able to save in 10 years, I thought, wow, I guess it'll be good to be able to have this on file. Now, I don't even doubt I'm going down the road where you guys who are watching and know, if Indian Trace and the channel disappears, it's because those who support, who run, administrate all of YouTube hate the links I share. Because they hate the truth. I hope some of you are watching, I hope most of you are watching, know that what's trending, and I even hate to use the word on YouTube, is not trending. That is not true at all. It is not what's most popular. What's most popular and what gains the most attention and power gets removed. Somebody say, well, how could you possibly say that? How can that be true? I said, well, just take the first example and we can move forward from there. How about Alex Jones? Of which, if somebody has something against him, they probably never sat down and listened to his channel or took in time to listen to maybe 12 of the journalists that support his channel that do not just open their mouth and speak anything that he tells them to. They study for themselves and report on current events for themselves from their own personality and the flavor of their own personality. I'm sorry. Now, somebody will say, look at these two pieces, and I will finish it with this. Some of you are seeing some pieces that do have some, everywhere from early or late paleo all the way up through woodland, and these triangles, probably Mississippian. So there we've just covered about 5,000 or 6,000 years. Look at these pieces, so many G10s. What can I say? It's just, I was watching some reports, obviously. And please, if you just think thoughtful about this in the last 30 seconds here, if there is a problem, and I share lots of links. You don't have to, I would go to the links, but you hear me speak about politics or what have you. Well, listen, anybody who's great in the world, part of the primary diet of what they spoke about was politics. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Jesus Christ, Nelson Mandela. I go on and on. I could put modern names involved in that. Martin Luther King Jr., postmodern, Alex Jones, on and on. All of them have been persecuted by the system. So all I would say is consider the system that you're devoting yourself to. And go out and save some history that's long gone by.